Hey, peace and love, family. I thought I'd just come on here today. I need to really share something specifically for the brothers. We need to love. We need to learn to better love ourselves to the fullest. We need to love ourselves to the fullest. And so, why am I saying this? Why am I saying that we as brothers need to do a better job of loving ourselves to the fullest? And some of us don't even love ourselves at all. I'll tell you why. When it comes to uh, this society that's predominantly ran by the matriarchy or ran by the matriarchy, the dating scene and all, we got to learn to carry ourselves as kings. We need to learn to think of ourselves as kings in our own right. See, you can't view yourself as a king and you're tricking off of you. You got to pay some woman to uh, lay up with. And of course, as a man of the Most High, I don't promote casual sex, pumping and dumping and all that. But for those of you who don't even really follow the Bible, outside of that, you as a man should view that as beneath you. Paying for sex, paying for, excuse me, I guess it's like a word we should say, but paying for relations, paying for intimacy, that should be beneath you as a man. You are a king. So kings don't pay to be intimate with a woman. That is weak. That is lame. That means you are too lazy to cultivate your mouthpiece. That means you are too lazy to cultivate your mindset, your masculine energy. If a woman is not interested in you, she's just not interested in you. Every woman is not going to be interested in you. Shout out to Ringo, Ringo TV Reactions, who said that he was on point, like board arrow equipment. Not every woman is going to be interested in you. That's just the reality of it. Okay, but to pay for intimacy or to chase, even chase women, and what I mean by chase is not that when you approach a woman, like if you want to try to shoot your shot at them and they turn you down, but you keep being persistent when the ratio of women to men is astronomical. I don't know what the exact ratio is. I think it's maybe in the country, I think it's 32-1, but it's significant. So I mean, you got to love yourself, right? To love yourself as a man is to value your time. Don't waste your time chasing what going after one woman that's clearly showed that she has no interest in you. All right. There's plenty of other women that look just as beautiful, even more beautiful than her. Or not just that, but somebody who's better, who could be better suited for you. Obviously, she's for something else, and not that she's not saying that she's a bad person. It's just you just not the man. She is not viewing you as that dude in her eyes. You understand? So don't do that to yourselves, brothers. I mean, stop going to these trick clubs, right? Where women are shaking their tail, give you cheap thrills and stuff. Stop going to these trick clubs, throwing your money at women who don't give a damn about you, who don't give a rat's ass about you, who could give two squirts of piss about you. Stop doing that. Just because you want to see some tail, don't be throwing your hard-earned money at them. All right? They don't care about you. So why should you throw away your money for some cheap thrills when you could use that money for something else more useful? Like for some type of investment. All right? Invested in Forex or something. You know, to think like a king, to think like a masculine man is to not trick you off your money at the trick club. To think like a masculine man, you would not stoop so low as to pay a woman for intimacy, to make a monetary transaction means you're telling her that her vagina is basically saying that your male organ is not a fair exchange. You're basically saying it's not a real fair exchange between her giving you sex and you giving her sex in return. So you're not giving. So to pay this woman cash is to say that you're not giving that you don't believe, you don't see as just you two coming together or for intimacy as a fair exchange. You don't see it as a fair exchange because you see it as your organ is not of value compared to hers. You saying that your organ is less value compared to hers, so therefore you want to just give her some money. All right? Masculine men don't do that. Masculine men don't stoop that low. And now that you're in, and it's because of all this culture of tricking and simping, it's caused these women to be high-minded, on a high horse, to feel so entitled, and they look beneath you, and they look down on you. You do realize, and a lot of you brothers know this, you do realize that that same woman that you're paying to sleep with, or not even just paying to sleep with, even if you're online tricking off these OnlyFans models, but definitely when you're stooping so low to give up your hard-earned money, you do realize that that same woman is letting a guy out there smash her without giving her anything. Because you know why? Because because of his energy. His masculine energy is the way he carries himself that turns her on. All right. So, to love yourself is to go within and do the work. I will say it again, to love yourself to the fullest. In order to love yourself to the fullest, you got to learn to go within and do the work. You need to absorb. There's some masculine content out there, content that's promoting masculinity. Because let's face it, including myself, we grew up in a society where we weren't really taught to be masculine. We were taught to be at a woman's beck and call, or to like be subservient to some degree to a woman. We were taught not to have standards when it comes to live with a woman. But when you read the scriptures, when you look into the Bible is, in my opinion, a red pill book. It promotes masculinity. It says it gives the divine order of the man being ahead of the woman. All right. So if you're the head, that means that means you have standards. You're supposed to have standards. You're supposed to set law and order within the household. You understand? Law and order within the household. So that's part of loving yourself. Because without establishing law and order within the household in a marriage, you're gonna uh the household's gonna be out of order. So so guys, just learn to love yourselves more. All right. Like I said, stop like stop trying to lead with your wallet. I know if you heard this before, of course I'm not the first to say this, but you know, to love yourself is to not lead with your wallet. All right, to love yourself is to not uh, blow your money at the trick clubs. To love yourself is not to pay for women for sex. All right, you should think highly of yourself enough to not put yourself in that position. And some of you may love yourself, but you have very little love for yourself. That put yourselves in that situation. It's very important because you know some of us have been indoctrinated with an old indoctrination of uh, being taught it's okay to do some of the things that I've mentioned when it's not masculine. It's lame. It's weak. How do you expect a woman to respect you for doing that? They're not going to respect you. They're not going to take you seriously. I'll give you an example. Years ago, many years ago, before I got into this, before I started getting back into this, before I got into the word, I used to go to the trick clubs in Atlanta. I remember this one trick club that I went to. I had a few of my favorite dancers, but there was this one girl in particular that I liked. And one day I mentioned, you know, me and her dealing with each other outside the club, establishing something. And I remember the words that she said to me. She said, "But you see me naked. You see me naked." So it was a no. So when I reflected years later, when I reflected on that situation, on that event, I says, pondering on why did she say that, or what did she mean behind that? She said that to say that. So I came. She knows me. She knew me as a trick, right? So therefore, she couldn't take me seriously because I was paid for a service. So it's opposed to meeting her, possibly meeting her outside of the club, when as opposed to being in a situation where I'd never been to the club, and maybe meeting her outside the club and using my mouthpiece, or just uh, letting my energy, my masculine, or cultivating my masculine energy to the point where uh, it exudes and she's attracted to me naturally. So I had, so basically according to her, I had already failed once I started tricking on her at the trick club. I had already failed in her eyes. And there was no way she was going to take me seriously because I screwed up when I started just paying her for table dances back in the day. So that's why I say that, you know, so I think what she meant by that is that, you know, or maybe she didn't, maybe she wasn't thinking this, but when I reflect on what she said, it just had me thinking a lot that you can't rely that that you can't lead with your wallet. See, leading with your wallet, you will fail every time when you try to lead with your wallet. It will never work. Yeah. If the woman is decent, if she's righteous, she would just leave you alone and not take advantage of that, try to like take your money and stuff constantly. You know, if she's wicked, then yeah, she'll go along with you, she'll string you along and make you think that she is feeling you, that she loves you and stuff. But you never want to leave with your wallet. So if you love yourself to the fullest, you would never leave with your wallet. All right. Because there have been situations where a woman has liked to be just for being where I didn't have to I didn't have to leave with my wallet. I didn't have to do none of that. All right. I didn't have to take them out to no dinner date or nothing like that. So when a woman really likes you, none of that matters. All right, leading with the wallet matters. So just that's why I thought I'd just come on here just for a few minutes to just let y'all know that it's been on my mind for a while that we brothers must learn to love ourselves more. All right. Stop tricking. Stop leading with our wallets. All right. Just because you're only going to attract because it's not going to end well for you. It's not going to end well for you when you leave with your wallet. All right. It never works out. It may seem to work on the surface and for a little while. All right. But if you love yourself, to love yourself is to desire a woman who wants you. To love yourself is to desire a woman who loves you, who wants you, who's clearly loves you for you, who's clearly feeling you for you. All right. To love yourself is to not brag about or your financial accomplishments or what you're making or how much you're making or what you like got going on there. You wouldn't lead with that. Oh, I make this amount of much. I make $300,000 a year, or I make $100,000 a year. No, I got. Oh yeah, I drive this type of car. You don't have to lead with none of that to love yourself. Those are exterior things. Those things are outside of you. You want a woman that is attracted to the interior of you, who you are. All right, that's to love yourself. All right, don't listen to those stupid songs like "It Ain't Tricking If You Got It." That's a trick anthem. That's a simp anthem. You know, they don't. Those songs is was leading you to those songs. Those are the type of songs that will lead you to a dark path. And they were like, if you have that mindset, you don't have to like flash your money. You ain't got to like do none of that. Just lead with your masculinity. All right, because there's a scripture in Proverbs 31:3 that says, "Give not your strength to women." Your strength, when you look that up into the Hebrew, is resources. No, don't give up your resources to a woman. I mean, you want to. I mean, it's not. It's only to like not unless she's that has proven herself to be serious about you. All right, but it's some brand new woman, somebody that you just met. Don't lead with your. When it says give not your strength to women, means don't lead with your wallet. All right, don't be like somebody you just met for the first time, showering her with gifts and this, tell her what you're gonna do, what you want to do for her and stuff. Just try to impress her. All right, to love yourself is not to lead what you are, not trying to impress her with exterior stuff. To love yourself is to love yourself enough. Not you should love yourself enough to protect your assets. All right, protect your assets, and if that woman has proven herself to be serious about you, if she has proven herself to be the real deal, then then if she after she proves herself to love you for you, then you can share some of those resources that you worked so hard for over the years, over time. So basically, that's all I had wanted to say. That's all I want to say, fam. We got to do better. We must do better. Love yourselves, brothers. And that encompasses a lot. All right. You should want the best for yourself. It starts up here. And also another thing, get on semen retention as well. There's hundreds of videos out on semen retention, talking about the benefits and stuff. And when you get on SR, semen retention, over time that will help you become manly. All right, I guarantee many men have reported being on semen retention over a period of time, and they reported becoming more masculine, more manly. They stopped looking at women as objects. They stopped being controlled by their wood. They started being controlled with this instead. So that's another thing. Get on Google semen retention. There's so many videos out on that. There's one young brother. His name's Nana the Soul. Type his name in. He puts out great content. He's a man of the Most High. He's a young blood coming up. Well, check out that brother, Nana the Soul. Okay, but anyway, that will help you on the road to like loving yourself more as a man. So with that being said, peace, fam. Y'all take care.